The Christian doctrine of the Trinity teaches that the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are a society of persons who voluntarily exist in relation to one another. This relationship is the basis for voluntary human relations, since we are made in the image of God. God is the ultimate example of exercising liberty, and as His images, He allows us to exercise liberty. God reserves the authority to execute justice upon those who violate Him, and as His images, He gives us that same authority against people who violate us. God gives judicial authority to humanity after the flood with Noah in Genesis 9, verse 6. Whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood shall be shed, for in the image of God He made man. Here we see the death penalty enacted for murderers. They take away life, therefore their life will be taken away. This principle of restitution is the foundation of all judicial laws in the Old Testament, and it is reiterated in the New Testament. As God's people matured to have their own nation, He would reveal more wisdom for civil government, which we will explore as the series continues. For now, our purpose is to establish that biblical law was concerned with executing justice against criminals, not bailing out businesses, not providing health care, and not telling you what type of toilet you can or cannot buy. Apostle Paul reiterates this in Romans chapter 13. He says that civil leaders function under God's authority to punish evildoers, not to socialize insurance or education, not to redistribute wealth to foreign countries, and not to start prohibitions against plants and raw milk. Government is supposed to be a defender, not a provider. Ron Paul believes the moral obligation of all civil governments is to defend the life and liberty of its citizens. Civil governments establish laws to protect life and liberty and only intervene when those laws have been violated. It is not the government's job to provide insurance, financial aid, education, food and drug regulations, or airport security. Legally, individual states can provide those services if they wish, but the federal government has no constitutional authority to do so. As president, Paul would veto unconstitutional legislation and seek to repeal those already in place. Practically speaking, such cuts will not occur overnight, as he would work within the legal process. He would never start with programs that people are dependent upon, such as Medicare or Social Security. Rather, he would cut non-essential spending in order to salvage those programs. Ending social programs that our society is dependent upon would be irresponsible and uncharitable. Paul wants to reduce the federal government back to its biblical and constitutional duties, but in a practical manner. Other candidates may use limited government rhetoric, but they always advocate more government, not less. Once you look at their record, you see that none of them promote the biblical limitations of government as much as Ron Paul.